Tuan Saiful in from MDEC. Right. Okay, now it's exactly 10, just right 1 minute past, right, 10:30. So, good morning, everyone, and welcome. And thank you for joining us today on our webinar. And we have our special guest from MDEC, Tuan Saiful from MDEC. And today, our webinar titled Future-Proof Your Business with Peppol e-Invoicing in Malaysia. I'm Dr. Kelly, your MC or your host for today's session. And we are truly delighted to have you here today to join us, to take your time off, and to, I think, let's learn as well on basically on the Peppol side for e-invoicing. And this webinar is brought to you by CRT Insights and Sesame in support of Peppol and National e-Invoicing Initiative. As many of you know, LHDN e-invoicing mandate has completed for phase 1 and phase 2. We currently rolling out on the subsequent phase 3, which will be mandated by towards the end of the year or early of next year. So to support this nationwide transformation, today's session will walk through you to so that you can understand on Peppol e-invoicing solution from CRT Insight and Sesame. Before we begin, just a few quick notes. The session will last about 50 minutes, followed by question and answer. Feel free to post your questions in the chat box so that later towards the 10 minutes before the question and answer, we will address all your questions. Today's webinar will be recorded so that it can also give you some perspective of learning about Peppol. And the slides that also will be shared to all the participants for this event. If you encounter any issues that you need or any questions, please do post it in the chat box. Today's agenda will include why Peppol e-invoicing by Tuan Saiful from MDEC. Then you will follow by CRT Insight Solution, Accelerating Peppol Adoption by Ms. Sharon. How CRT Insight and Sesame enable Peppol e-invoicing will be done by me, and follows by question and answer. To kick things off, it is our honor to welcome our first speaker from MDEC, which is Peppol Authority Provider for Malaysia, in leading digital e-invoicing initiative to future-proof Malaysian business. Please join me in welcoming Tuan Saiful, Director from MDEC, to share more on the government's direction and how businesses can prepare for this Peppol e-invoicing transformation. Let's welcome Tuan Saiful. After you, Tuan Saiful.
Thank you, Dr. Kelly, and very good morning. Let me share my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we do.
Okay, let's share this. Okay, so this morning I'll be sharing why Peppol invoicing and how it can go from compliance to competitiveness, basically unlocking strategic value with interoperable invoicing. So this is a new keyword that you'll be hearing a lot throughout this short presentation. Before I start, I'd just like to go with the common misconception. A lot of businesses, they think invoicing is just for tax compliance. We know LHDN's invoicing has been in the news every day. There's a mandatory timeline. But in reality, invoicing goes beyond sending invoices to tax authority. It actually enables the sending and receiving of invoices digitally with other businesses without human intervention. So this is actually a business process automation and also a foundation for AI. And this is a very important question. Why businesses should care beyond tax compliance? Because a lot of businesses now, when they hear there's a LHDN mandate, they just want to go with what is the cheapest, fastest, easiest. That's it, which is basically the bare minimum. But if you go with cheapest, fastest, easiest, it may not give you the full benefit of how you can maximize invoice implementation in your organization. So hopefully towards the end of this presentation, you will have this question answered and you have much more insight about choosing the right solution and the right implementation for your operation. So before we go into Malaysia, let's look at the global invoicing movement first. Invoicing, even though as a country we're just starting since last year, 2024, the first phase was in August last year, but in other countries it has been implemented more than 10 years, some even 15 years. So more than 25 countries already implementing invoicing. We are not the first. Some implementing for business digitalization, like in Europe, and some using it for tax reporting. But we see invoicing is no longer a trend. It is now a global movement. A lot of the direction of countries are moving towards interoperable invoicing because they want to facilitate trade between countries. Now let's zoom in about Malaysia's implementation. We know that there is invoicing for tax reporting by LHN. This is the one that everyone has heard about. So basically, this is businesses have to submit invoice to LHN to be validated. There's also invoicing for business digitalization using the Peppol framework. This is the one implemented by MDEC. So this is where we automate the exchange between invoice between supplier and buyer. And this will be the focus of my presentation today. And most importantly, when businesses adopt this businesses invoicing for business digitalization, they will also comply and fulfill the tax reporting and compliance requirement as well. So before I zoom into what MDEC is doing, let's cover very briefly what LHN is doing, the red color component. So as you know, in LHN invoicing, you are given a few options of how to submit invoice to LHN. You can use their portal, go to their website, key in your invoice entry and submit. Or you can use API. Even API, there are multiple options here. You can do direct integration if you have internal in-house systems. You can use non-Peppol technology provider, or you can use a Peppol service provider. So this is the part where I'll be presenting in more detail about Peppol service provider and how it can help your business to grow and accelerate. So now we go into what MDEC is doing. MDEC, as you know, is an agency under the Ministry of Digital. So we are driving the digitalization of the businesses in Malaysia, and we are implementing national invoicing initiatives to drive interoperable invoicing. So this is a very important keywords, interoperable invoicing, because this is where we want the direction of the country to go, where it will enable businesses to exchange invoice in a system-to-system manner, regardless of hardware or software use. So right now, you know that a lot of businesses in Malaysia are still using manual and paper-based invoice operations. So what we want to do under this initiative, MDEC is digitally transforming all businesses so that there's no longer using paper. Everything will be system-to-system transfer, and not only interoperability at domestic level, but also at global level as well. So that is where MDEC is implementing in this national invoicing initiative. And to do this global interoperability, we are using an international standard called Peppol. So what is Peppol? So a lot of people think Peppol is a system, it's a platform. Actually, it's not. It is a technical specification, just like an ISO standard. So why was Peppol chosen? Because it is the most widely used e-invoicing framework in the world. More than 20 countries already using Peppol as the standard for invoicing. These are all the countries, including the closest one, we have Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Japan, and a lot of countries in Europe. And the latest one is UAE in the Middle East. So if you are using invoicing that is Peppol compliant or Peppol certified, just like ISO certified, that means you can send invoice at domestic level as well as interoperability at global level. All the countries using Peppol, so you can send. So how does it work? How does it impact your businesses if you were to decide on this route? So first thing first, everybody wants to submit invoice to LHN. So that means if you're using the Peppol service provider, this option in the LHN just now, you will send invoice using your Peppol service provider to LHN, and LHN will return back the validated invoice. With Peppol compliance solution, you have this added advantage. You can also send the validated invoice to your buyer in a system-to-system manner using the Peppol network. So it's like a maps network. It's interoperability. As long as they are also connected to the Peppol network, you can send it. If your supplier or your buyer is not yet in the Peppol network, you can send using PDF first, but later on, once they're connected to the network, it will enable the system-to-system data transfer. And this is the interoperable invoicing that we talked about. Now, let's talk about the benefit. Now, this is a very important point why businesses should consider implementing Peppol invoicing. If you're just using invoicing just for tax reporting, you only get point number one. benefit number one, which is fulfill tax compliance. If you use a Peppol service provider, you can submit invoice to LHN, and also all service provider will be accredited by MDEC. So there is a government agency validating the capability of the service provider to confirm that they can deliver what they promise to deliver. The other benefit of Peppol invoicing, you can get increased business efficiency, faster processing time, less error, because now the invoice is being sent in a system-to-system manner without the need for manual data entry. So that will lead to reduced operational costs. You have lower manpower. So right now, how many staff do you have processing invoice? That potentially can be repurposed to other higher value activities if you automate using Peppol. It can reduce costs, printing, postage, storage. It will enhance security. If you send using Peppol invoicing, that means it will eliminate the risk, because a lot of fraudulent comes when PDF email be intercepted, and then the bank details can be changed, can be tampered with. When you send system-to-system data transfer, fully encrypted, it is far more secure. The other advantage is cross-border transaction, because just now you saw that 23 countries already implementing invoicing using Peppol. So everybody using the same standard, you can send invoice not just within country, but to other countries as well. And green for businesses. It will reduce carbon footprint because you are digitally reducing the use of paper, and to also save the environment. So let's look at some real example of benefits, dollar and cent. So these are some of the preliminary data from early adopters. You can get 90% reduction of time data entry posting from account receivable or account payable. So try to think about this from your business operation, how much it's a reduction and how much it can benefit your operation. And also reduction of processing costs. We see from supplier, it can reduce the cost up to 64% per invoice. And for buyer, if you are receiving, again, similarly, 65% saving per invoice. Again, try to imagine how many invoices do you process per month, and how much that can translate to dollar and cent, and how much that can save the manpower that you can remobilize to other activities. These are some of the examples from other countries that you can see. There's a lot of it. You can go to this link. You can see how this company can process twice invoice in half the time. Konica Minolta can get paid faster. And one of the key role of MDEC as a Peppol authority, we accredit service providers. All Peppol service providers must be accredited by MDEC. So there is a certain level of security and international compliance they need to adhere to. And CRT Insights and Sesame are MDEC accredited service providers. Now back to the first question, why should businesses care beyond tax compliance? If you just do invoicing purely to satisfy the tax reporting requirement by LHN, basically you're just doing an extra step, extra cost, extra effort that you need to incorporate into your business costing. If you do invoicing using Peppol, it is not just for compliance, but it is also for efficiency and growth. So this is where you can get cost saving. Potentially, you can offset whatever investment you do invoicing, because the cost saving can give an ROI in the long term, and you can do an early mover advantage for your industry. So this is my last slide. So why should businesses consider implementing invoicing? So invoicing goes beyond tax compliance. You can get all these benefits. Just now we mentioned if you go for tax reporting, you only get one. But if you do Peppol invoicing, you get all the 6 benefits. And also, people talk about AI now. In order to use AI, you need to have large data set. And to get large data set, you need to digitalize your transaction data. So Peppol invoicing can digitalize your transaction data into structured data format, which you can harness the full potential of AI. And the third reason, this is at the country level, Malaysia is signing a lot of free trade agreement with other countries, and a lot of the chapters in the agreement have a specific on interoperable invoicing. So this is definitely a global trend where the direction is going, not just a global, at national level also. It is also part of the 3 national level blueprint. So it is the direction of the country. And we also advise businesses, be ahead of your competitors and peers. Don't wait for last minute disruption. I know that LHN, a lot of businesses, they wait for LHN deadline before they start implementing it. But our advice, start early and be ahead of your competitors. And lastly, choose a Peppol compliance solution that can fulfill tax compliance as well as future-proof your business for domestic and global interoperability. I think that's all for me. Thank you very much.
Right, thank you, Encik Saiful, for such a good insights about Peppol. Now, let's welcome our next presenter, Ms. Sharon, Chief Operating Officer from CRT Insights, and she'll be sharing CRT Insights solution, accelerating Peppol adoptions. Over to you, Sharon. Sharon, I think you're on mute. Probably you want to unmute.
Okay, thank you, Kelly. Okay, good morning, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Sharon from CRT Insight Technology Senyum Berhad, and it is my pleasure to be with you today. We are excited that to collaborate with MDEX and Sesame's Malaysia as a certified access point providers to help business like yours to get ready for the upcoming e-invoice mandate by LHDN. In today's section, I'll be sharing how Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, when integrated with Peppol Network, can help your organization go beyond just compliance. We explore how this digital shift can streamline your operation, enhance real-time cash flow visibility, ultimately drive greater efficiency across your finance function. Okay, let me begin by introducing CRT Insight Technology. We were founded in year 2006 with a clear mission to empower mid-market business through ERP development and consulting services that drive operational excellence and digital transformation. As Microsoft certified partners, we delivered solutions powered by Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, a cloud-based ERP platform that is AI-ready, scalable, and built for modern business needs. This allows us to equip our client with intelligent tools that automate routine tasks, enhance decision-making, and improve end-to-end visibility across the operation. Over the year, we will work with the clients across the range of the industry, including engineering, life science, manufacturing, distribution, building material, and construction. Our core strength lies in bridging the gap between the business strategy and technology execution, which assists to creating future-ready solutions that not only meet today's requirement, but also position our client for growth in the year ahead. Our offering covers 4 major areas. That is first, business consulting, from process review to digital transformation, planning and change your management support. ERP solution, which is deploying and integrating Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central to streamline operations and improve decision-making. We do provide custom-built software which tailor web, desktop, and mobile application to address unique business requirements in your organization. Of course, we have a dedicated help desk support, which to ensuring the smooth post-implementation operation with dedicated support team and SLA-based assistance to our client. Our goal is to become your long-term technology partner, ensuring your system evolve alongside your business. Now, a quick note on our accreditation credential in the e-invoice space. CRT Insight Technology is proud to be officially accredited by both MDEX and IMDA from Singapore. In Malaysia, this means that we are recognized as a trusted technology enabler for LHDN e-invoicing initiative, ensuring that our solution meet national compliance standard and are Peppol ready for seamless integration via certified access point providers. In Singapore, we are equally honorable to be part of the Invoice Now ecosystem certified under IMDA Peppol program, which this is allow our clients send and receive e-invoice through a secure and internationally recognized network, enhancing their B2B connectivity, automatic account receivable and account payable process, which they help to improving your payment cycles. This dual accreditation reflect our commitment to helping business across the region navigate e-invoice mandate with confidence while unlocking real operational benefit beyond just compliance. All right, so as we say, Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central is a modern and cloud-based ERP system to bring all your business process together from financial, sales, service, operation into a single integrated platform. It's seamlessly connected with third-party applications such as payroll, your banking system, CRM, industry-specified solution, which enabling true end-to-end process automation. Now, let me share with you a video to explain more about Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central capability.
Sharon, maybe the volume, is that?
Right, so sorry, I think the audio missed out. Let me share again.
Microsoft Dynamics unify processes and centralize your most critical business data into a single, easy-to-use solution built with powerful cloud intelligence. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central delivers an unparalleled, all-in-one solution for next-level growth. Business Central presents your most important information to help you prioritize and grow. Headline news, key performance indicators, alerts and action items, business insights, and more. Easily switch business areas and quickly perform actions right from the home screen. Jump straight into favorited sections. View inventory more efficiently with agile search and diverse filtering capabilities. Drill in for more info. Navigate with ease and perform actions faster. All on any device, working from anywhere. Stay productive, competitive, and focused on your customers. Use Dynamics 365 Business Central to drive transformative business results.
Okay, so now after seeing the video, let's talk about how we ensure compliance without complexity through seamless integration with the Sesame Peppol network. At CRT Insights, we believe that accelerating Peppol's adoption should be simple, strategic, and sustainable. With Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, business can be fast-track their e-invoicing readiness in 3 powerful ways. First, seamless integration. Connect effortless with the Sesame Peppol network, and your trading partner will automatically document action and reducing manual effort. Second, we will ensure the compliance. Stay aligned with the LHDN and Peppol BIS standard with validate, audit-ready e-invoice built into your ERP workflow. Third, user-friendly experience. Empower your finance and operation team with a familiar Microsoft-driven interface that simplifies training, adoption, and daily use. Together, these 3 pillars, which they ensure that your transition to e-invoice isn't just a compliant, but it is a competitive advantage as well. When we talk about seamless integration with the Sesame Peppol network, Malaysia LHDN e-invoicing mandates mark a significant move toward the digitalization of tax compliance. To remain compliant, business must be able to issue, transmit, and receive your e-invoice in line with national Peppol standard. At CRT Insights, we simplify this process by integrating Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central directly with the Sesame Peppol network, enabling the seamless automated experience from end to end. With this integration, you will benefit from automate document action with your trading partner and reducing the delay and minimizing the human error. Secondly, you will reduce the manual uploading, allowing your finance team to focus on the higher value tasks instead of just chasing on the errors on incomplete data during the submission. Third, it was standardized with the e-invoice that are fully compliant with Malaysia Peppol BIS specification as well as LHDN regulation. Real-time invoicing tracking giving you a complete visibility from submission to buyer acceptance, helping you to stay in control of your cash flow. This seamless connection supports business in accelerating Peppol adoption while assuring compliance and improving your operational efficiency. Ensure your compliance with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. Compliance is built in, not bought on. Our integration ensures that e-invoicing compliance become a seamless part of your everyday operation, not a manual burden. Here is how it works. First, automatic the validation. Every invoice is automatically checked against the latest LHDN rules and Peppol standard before submission, dramatically to reduce the risk of rejection. Second, when we have the built-in format conversion, your invoice are automatically converted into Peppol compliance format within Business Central. It do not require any external converter or third-party tools. Third, continually regulatory alignments. With the regular update, your system stay aligned with evolving LHDN and Peppol mandate. So you are always audit ready and up to date without manual intervention. With Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, compliance is proactive, effortless, and future-proof. User-friendly experience. One of the key advantage of Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, it is a familiar, intuitive interface which is similar to the tools that your team already in use for every day, such as Excel and Microsoft Outlook. This significantly reduces the learning curve and speed up the user adoption with minimum training required. Creating and managing the e-invoicing becomes straightforward with built-in fields aligned with LHDN mandatory requirements, which including taxpayer identification numbers, invoice issue date and time, applicable tax details such as sales and service tax numbers, buyer and seller identifiers. This user-friendly experience ensures that every invoice is accurate, compliance, and audit ready, which empowering your team to focus on getting work done, not figuring out on the new system. In summary, the Peppol four-corner model is the framework Malaysia is adopting for e-invoicing under the Peppol network. It's standardizing how electronic document exchange between business, ensuring the interoperability, compliance, and security. Here is the background of the process flow. The model involves the four key parties. First, corner one, sender, which is the supplier, the business issuing the e-invoice. Corner two, sender access point, the Peppol certified service provider that sends document on behalf of the supplier, which is corner three, receiver access point, the Peppol certified service provider that receive document on behalf of the buyer. Corner four, buyer as a receiver, the business receiving the e-invoice. This structure ensures both parties can exchange document even if they use different system or service provider. Now, let us have a quick demo to understand how Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central works seamless with Peppol four-corner model for receiving and submission of the e-invoice.
As Malaysia enters a new era of digital tax compliance, LHDN's e-invoice initiative marks a significant milestone in this transformation, supported by the global Peppol network. Let's connect Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central through Sesame Peppol network for e-invoice submission to LHDN. Once logged in the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, users can immediately view the e-invoice sales and purchase activity right on the landing page. At a glance, you can conveniently preview the status of submitted e-invoices, whether they're validated, rejected, or cancelled, providing instant visibility and control. Now let us show you how easy and simply of the submission. When we open Sales Invoice, select the customer, system will populate all the information in necessary fields. Our Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central is ready with the mandatory fields required by MyInvoice portal such as the buyer's TIN, business registration number, address, contact number, and email. It is also important to verify that all items are defined with the necessary details, including the correct classification code, to support accurate e-invoice generation. Once the sales invoice is created with all the required details and user do the posting, the sales invoice will be automatically submitted by the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, and the e-invoice status is immediately updated to Submitted, and the system will continue to track the status in real time, reflecting any changes such as validated, invalid, or rejected, all without manual intervention. Once logged in the SESAMI Peppol portal, user can see all the sales invoice that's submitted to LHDN, easily search for the sales invoice and reviewed it with all the invoice information, providing full traceability and transparency. No more manual checks. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central automatically retrieves the e-invoice submission status, keeping you informed in real time with no extra effort. You can easily view e-invoice submission status and e-invoice information such as e-invoice unique ID, long ID, and submission ID right from the sales invoice page. In the integration fact box, you can also easily view key e-invoice details, including the upload status, upload date and time, and any error messages if the submission is rejected by LHDN. This provides quick access to critical information, helping users troubleshoot and resolve issues without leaving the invoice page.
All right, we have seen the submission. Let's have a quick view on the receiving part.
Beyond just sending e-invoices, our Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central also automatically retrieves incoming e-invoices through SESAMI Peppol network. Once logged in the SESAMI Peppol portal, the e-invoice from the LHDN which submitted by the vendor can be easily filtered and searched in the portal. In Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, Download e-Documents page, user can easily find the e-invoice that automatically synchronized from SESAMI Peppol network. Once the e-invoice is synchronized from the SESAMI Peppol network, users can simply click Create Incoming Document to convert the e-invoice into an incoming document. From there, the incoming document can be further converted into a purchase invoice, allowing the system to automatically process the posting, eliminating manual entry and improving efficiency.
Okay. Okay, to wrap up, let's recap about the key takeaway for today. Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, which have been integrated with the Peppol network via the SESAMI, which empowers the Malaysia business to meet the LHDN e-invoicing requirements, stay available compliance with Malaysia's tax authority requirement through automatic validation against the latest LHDN standard, which this is help to simplifying the tax filing and significantly reducing the audit risk. Second, eliminating the manual error and prompt invoice process, which help your team to can stop fixing the invoice error and start focusing on more important work. Third, gains the real-time visibility and control over invoice status and cash flow. You can instantly see what is happening in your business, like the payment, inventory status, or operation, and take action right away. No delay, no guesswork. Our dashboard provides a comprehensive insight into your invoicing operation, helping you identify bottleneck, forecast, cash flow, and make data-driven decisions. Future-proof your operation against regulatory change. Prepare your business for Malaysia digital future with a scalable solution that adapts to evolving regulatory requirement and business growth. This isn't just the compliance, it is about unlocking efficiency, improving the accuracy, and building a smarter, more agile finance functions. Thank you again for joining us today. If you'd like to have personal walkthrough for explore how Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central can work for your organization, feel free to reach out with us. We were happy to help you to get started on this. Thank you.
All right.
Right.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon, for
Thanks.
such an informative session, especially on the CRT Insights solutions. Next session, I'll be sharing on how CRT Insight and SESAMI enable Peppol invoicing. Let me just share my screen. Okay. right? So let me walk through on how CRT Insights Sesame is helping businesses like yours to stay ahead, especially on regulatory and operational challenges, while being internationally compliant with Peppol. Here, what we will cover in the next 10 minutes, I'll just basically run through with regards to future trends in invoicing and e-procurement, and also to stress on more on Peppol. And then I will introduce on Sesame and CRT Insights Peppol e-invoicing solution. Let me just put in a laser pointer. And finally, we will have a question and answer. For those who have not actually, who have questions with regards to Peppol, to Encik Saiful or Ms. Sharon, please do provide those questions. I think a lot of questions, definitely, I believe that you have with regards to Peppol. So please do. And then during the question and answer, we try to address it to all your concerns, right? Okay. Just a very quick, just to introduce Sesame. So Sesame is Asia's leading B2B e-procurement and e-marketplace platform provider. We do provide platform or solution to connect buyers and suppliers. So in Sesame Group, we have 3 entities. In Sesame's in Singapore itself, we have Sesame entity and Abeka. MyBee solution will be in Malaysia. Primarily, we are accredited by MDEC as the service provider in Malaysia, as well as also by IMDA as the access point for Peppol in Singapore. In fact, in Singapore itself, Sesame Singapore has been in the industry for about 25 years now, and we are very strong. In fact, we are the largest Peppol service provider in Singapore. We use those best practices actually. And that's where we try to see how we can deploy that in Malaysia itself. In fact, currently we have already quite substantial number of Peppol. We only do Peppol 100% for Malaysia. That's where we work closely together with CRT Insight. So if you have any concern, do reach out to CRT Insight or ourselves here. Okay, so basically, let me just move on to the next slide. Just hold on, yeah. Okay, just hold on. I have an issue. Okay, so basically, like what I mentioned just now, Sesame is actually a global e-marketplace in Singapore, and we are actually connecting buyers and suppliers community. We are a platform which is primarily very strong in e-procurement. E-invoicing is definitely part of this whole ecosystem of our solution. So if you can see that we actually complete with e-invoicing and just purely 100% focus on Peppol. That's where we actually complete the whole life cycle of e-procurement system from sourcing to payment. Yeah. As just mentioned, from Encik Saiful as well, that we are actually the service provider. That's where we can see that we are already connected with CRT Insight Solutions. Therefore, we are rest assured that there's no risk. In fact, we already run in production for most of our customers in the Peppol environment. So for those who are still have doubts about Peppol, rest assured, like what I mentioned, we took the best practice from Singapore, and we have already implemented and running for phase 2 and phase 1 as well on Peppol with LHDN together with Peppol network. As a company, we won multiple accolades and awards. In fact, in Singapore last year, we won 4 awards for Invoice Now. In Malaysia, we are expecting hopefully one day MDEC will have that award, and you can see that we have grown from 2023 from 2 awards last year. Most of the category we have actually quite proud that we have won those awards. Just to share a little bit high level, so Sesame is like what I mentioned, we are a Peppol service provider. And MyBee, an entity in Malaysia, we are a MD status company. And obviously CRT Insights is a Peppol-ready solution provider, our partners that we work very closely with in order to ensure that we can help you in your business. If you have concern in Peppol regarding Peppol, I think that's where today's session basically is to address those concerns. And we have and we are quite lucky that we can manage to get Tuan Saiful to be here today, especially to address most of those doubts that businesses have, especially on Peppol. Yeah. Okay, I think pretty much I will open up more question and answers to address most of your questions. Let me just stop my sharing. Let me just hold on. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much my last slide just now. But I think my concern here is more towards addressing your concerns with regards to Peppol. Is there any questions now so far? Let me just check at the back chat box. Any questions? I will open up to the floor if anyone that has any questions. Otherwise, I will have a frequently asked questions, which I think I will start asking those questions. But if you have, please quickly, you can also share those in the chat box. Maybe I'll start first, since everyone is still shy, right? So frequently asked question. I always have these questions from most of the customers who have already implemented e-invoicing with LHDN, but now their concern is some of them has cross-country, but they are now trying to see how can Peppol help them. So maybe this question I will direct it to Tuan Saiful, especially cross-country, and just now when you stress about interoperability, and how does those benefits that can benefit such organization who has present in multiple countries with regards to Peppol. Maybe open up to you, Tuan Saiful.
Yeah, thank you. So basically, businesses, when they implement e-invoicing that is Peppol compliant, Peppol is just a standard, it's just a back-end thing. In fact, businesses don't need to worry about Peppol or not. As long as they are Peppol certified, it's good enough for them to know already. When they are using a solution that is Peppol compliant, that means they can send invoice in a system-to-system manner with other businesses without the need for manual data entry. And when that capability is being done not just at domestic level, like Dr. Kelly mentioned, when you also grow your business or you have contract with businesses from other countries, you can also send the same invoice and receive the same invoice using Peppol with those 23 countries, because they're all using the same format. So that is the major advantage of using a Peppol compliant solution, because it will future-proof your business so that when you grow or when you get contract from other countries or when you receive invoice from other countries, you can automate all that as well. You don't have to rely on manual process. And again, just to reiterate my presentation just now, the direction of the world is moving towards global interoperability, because when countries do trade in a digital manner, they realize there is a very important need to standardize the format of invoice so that businesses can seamlessly do transaction, and data can flow in a system-to-system manner cross-country, cross-border. And that's why by choosing a Peppol compliance solution, even if you're not using it now, you said all my current customers are domestic, but it's okay. As long as you future-proof it now, when the time comes for you to use it, at least it's already there. You can just use it rather than having to redo your procurement, redo your system upgrade. That is double work, double effort. So that's why MDEX advice for all the businesses, automate or get the Peppol compliant solution now so that you can automate your business presently as well as for future as well.
Okay, thank you so much, Tuan Saiful. I think hope that answers to some concerns who has such questions. Maybe I saw there is some question posted by one of the participants. Can I know the charges of using Peppol? I think these quite common questions, right? So maybe I should address this to Sharon, maybe since the whole entire solutions, right? Maybe is that something that you think that you can address on these questions? You're on mute, Sharon.
Yeah, I'm on mute, sorry. Okay, I think in terms of charge for Peppol, of course, it was totally different with the direct API. Right now, I think most of the business has been deployed direct to my invoice. So for this part, I reckon, Grace, I will get my sales team to liaise with you so that you can understand more about the charges in terms for your organization when you want to adopt the Peppol network. Is it all right, Grace?
Okay. Is it okay? And thank you. All right. I saw there's one long questions from Irene, right? So we have a business unit in Singapore where we have implemented invoice now. Sometimes customer forwards email from Sesame with details about invoices we send to them. Saying how come some random company knows about our invoice detail. We do ask them to speak to their IT team, but don't you think the companies using should mandatory educate the employees on their Sesame onboarding? It's very frustrating that multiple times they tend to blame us saying our data got leaked or something. Okay, Irene, I know your concerns with regards to data leak issues. I think this is not just only Sesame, to be honest. A lot of other vendors also facing these issues. But I think to address your questions with regards to this, I think a lot of times we usually will look into the root cause of analysis. We got to do a little bit more investigations on this particular data leak issues. Is it how does it cause? It's not only in Singapore. In Malaysia, we tend to have these kind of issues as well. However, this will definitely need a thorough investigation to find out more on the root cause analysis. But I think if you have concern, you can always reach out to me. I will give you my email address. You can always address that. Yeah. Okay, maybe another questions I have to Tuan Saiful. I think this one is quite a lot of businesses also ask for this, especially in terms of just now some has asked about Peppol charges, right? So in order to accelerate Peppol uptake, especially in Malaysia, right? What sort of incentive that maybe MDEC? I know MDEC has come out some multiple streams of programs, but is there something that can help, especially more towards the SMEs? I think SMEs are the one who are now going to the phase 3, right? So they tend to make decision, and for them now it's whether should I go with Peppol plus LHDN or should I just continue with just LHDN. So I think that is maybe some of these questions posted by some of these SME companies. Maybe Tuan Saiful, you have some insights for us.
Yeah, I think when it comes to costs, also incentives, government doesn't have. I know in Singapore they actually provide grants specifically for invoicing. Malaysia, we do have grants for digitalization that can cover some invoicing as well. That one is under Grant Madani PMKS, so you can Google it. You can find that about. The other thing that MDEC is doing, because when we want to adopt or to drive the adoption of Peppol invoicing in Malaysia, we want to give SMEs the reason to use Peppol, because sometimes having the benefit as well may not be enough for businesses, especially SMEs. So our key initiative this year, or rather this year and next year, is that we want to get the large companies, the multinationals, the GLCs, the agencies, to implement Peppol invoicing so that they can indirectly act as a catalyst to digitalize all their SME vendor supplier as well. So when these big companies, they are using Peppol invoicing and they say, look, send to me using Peppol, then they will give the reason for SMEs to use Peppol invoicing and to send the invoice in a system-to-system manner. So this is something is ongoing. We are working with quite a few large companies, multinational GLCs, and also agencies right now. And again, this is the future direction where the country is going. So there will be a time, hopefully very soon, that your buyer will ask invoice from you to be sent using Peppol format. So it's good for you to have that capability now. So whenever that you have that contract or you get businesses, you don't have to spend time doing procurement again, system upgrade again. So it's good to have that now. And that is one of the key adoption initiative that we're doing now, as well as making working with the government and the ministry to strengthen the adoption by the larger businesses so that it will catalyze the adoption by SME as well.
All right. Thank you. Thank you, Tuan Saiful. Oh, there's another question. Maybe this one is to Sharon or myself. How CRT or Sesame manage your client which have mix of vendor? I think this is quite common question as well. Peppol and non-Peppol in terms of invoice or document submission to LHDN. So maybe Sharon, you want to try to answer this question?
Okay, all right. Okay, refer to this question. I think as just now we have mentioned, if today your vendors do not have any Peppols, of course they won't be receive any invoice submission for downloading, like just now what you see from the video, whereby they will receive an email notification in the PDF format, right, for receiving of the e-invoice compliant e-invoicing.
Okay. Maybe just another question to Sharon as well, just to continue, right? I think some customers do refer to me as well when this forum or this webinar started, and they asked me what is the benefit of going with CRT Insights with Sesame with regards to other ERP solution providers. I think these are quite common questions. Maybe you have some insights to share as well, Sharon.
Okay, as we mentioned, firstly, we are certified by the MDEX, right? And we have a proof of the integration that's successfully done, not just for Malaysia e-invoice, but also for Singapore e-invoice. So on top of that, CRT also like deploying direct API that with the My Invoice portal. So we are confident we are able to support clients that by using the Peppol network as well together.
Okay, thank you so much, Sharon. Maybe we have a few more minutes. Any other questions from the floor? Any other questions? If it's not, I have maybe another question for Saifu. I think a lot of people already posted to me earlier, so that's where I think for the interest of everybody or businesses, I think it's good. So anyway, my next question will be, while MDEC is trying to push on the Peppol side, right? How do we see the harmonization between MDEC and LHDN so that it becomes like one? Currently, it has been seen like both are dying into different directions. But how do you see that synergy coming along this way where everybody, it's like Singapore, right? So Singapore, it's like mandated, right? So how can that action be happening soon, so that at least some of these who are fence eater, I call them, then they may at least, okay, looks, now I think I know what to decide, right? So is it something that maybe Tuan Saiful can share?
Yes, that's a very good question. Also, thank you for bringing it up. MDEC and LHN has been working very closely since the beginning of 2022 when we worked together in the planning stage, even before the mandatory timeline for first phase and second phase on the implementation invoicing. And LHN, they have their standards and their requirements, but we also work together to align as closely as possible with the Peppol standard as well. Why it cannot be 100%? Because LHN covers things that are not covered by Peppol, because they do B2C and all that. But more importantly, recently the OECD have announced, because LHN, they're doing it purely for tax reporting compliance purpose. OECD under Tax Administration 3.0, they have announced that the direction of the global tax administration in terms of invoicing, it will be for e-invoicing and interoperability, meaning that all tax administration will be moving towards having the capability for the invoicing to be able to talk to each other across different platforms and across different systems. So that means if you're using Peppol invoicing now, you are very much safe and secure for your future requirement, because the global direction of various tax administration around the world are also moving towards interoperability. And because now there's only one standard, global standard, that is most widely used, which is Peppol, more than 23 countries. There are no other standard that is even close. The rest are all country-specific standards. So we know that Peppol is in a very good position to be the global standard, not just for business digitalization, but also for tax reporting as well. So there is the future direction, not just for global trade, but also for tax compliance as well.
Okay, thank you, Tuan Saiful. I think that's answer pretty much a lot to most of them. So basically, I think we have not much time left. We only have 4 minutes. I think it's quite interesting, right? We have this session and a lot more questions, to be honest. But I think in view of time, maybe just to wrap up, maybe Sharon, you want to have any before you to wrap up for the sessions today?
That's all for my sharing. Do contact me if you have further question on that.
Okay, thank you, Sharon, so much for
Thank you.
and Tuan Saiful, you have anything to wrap up before just to close up the session today?
Yeah, I think MDEC's last message to all the businesses right now, if you still have not decided which option that you want to go with in order to fulfill your tax reporting compliance, just now we saw the 4 options, like the various options. You got your portal, direct integration, non-Peppol, or Peppol. So our advice is future-proof your business now. Don't have to redo your system upgrade or procurement again in the future. Again, better to start right. Even if you don't use Peppol now because your vendor supplier not using Peppol, it's okay. But as long as have it Peppol certified, Peppol compliant, so that you don't have to redo your procurement system upgrade again. I keep saying this over and over again because we don't want businesses to have to come to the situation, oh my God, I've already invested in this, now I have to redo again. So we really want to avoid that, because as a government agency, we know the direction of the country and the direction of global is moving towards global interoperability. So that's why I would advise, choose a Peppol compliant solution and future-proof your business organization today. That's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Tuan Saiful. I think we are towards the end of this session. I believe there is a QR for feedback session as well for this webinar session. Just stay put. We will share you a QR on this part. Thank you so much, everyone, for being able to attend, and thank you, Tuan Saiful, again for your time. And Sharon, for your time as well to share this webinar session. And to all, have a great day. We will share with you the feedback form probably in the email. Yeah. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Thank you so much again. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right.